Okay, so this ship changes. Changing the concept of Shinana. The new unusual concept which ship was initially announced after the first stage showed itself to be quite difficult to implement and not particularly effective. Clearly, Lesta should have gone the way of wargaming with adding improved pin angle AP bombers. Very easy to implement. Therefore, we decided to completely change the concept of the ship, making it more comfortable and understandable. Ruh-roh. Shinana will be a cross between Taiho and Hakuryu in terms of gameplay, but will also have its own unique features. Ruh-roh. The aircraft carrier will be armed with 2 standard squadrons, unlike the original concept consisting of several links and without rocket boosters, as well as 2 tactical. I hate tactical squadrons. I fucking hate tactical squadrons. Like, tactical squadrons are so obnoxious because they're basically a consumable. So it doesn't matter if it gets shot down, but it's horrendous to play against because you know he's literally pressing a consumable and dealing damage to you. All squadrons have access to interceptors, similar in characteristics to the interceptors of the Taiho aircraft. Standard squadrons are represented by attack aircraft with HI missiles, but as well as bombers equipped with armor-piercing bombs. Those squadrons are distinguished by the rapid preparation of aircraft. With a small number of aircraft on the deck, it is equal to the size of the squadron. Okay, so it is worth using them more carefully. An unsuccessfully chosen target, or for example an attack approach for the explosion of an air defense shell, can make the entire squadron unavailable for reuse for a time. It can make the entire squadron unavailable for reuse for a time, albeit a short one. No! Poor carriers! Are you telling me if they make a mistake, they'll have to wait a bit? Aww. No, that's so unfair. What about when the surface ships make a mistake and they get blown back to port? Oh, we don't talk about that? Oh, I'm sorry, I forgot. It's carriers. The biggest penalty you can imagine is can make the entire squadron unavailable for reuse for a time, albeit a short one. That's as hard as the stick is for carrier players. That's like the penalty for a carrier player fucking up. That's as bad as it gets when you fuck up in a carrier. You might have to wait a while to use that specific squadron, but don't worry, you got other squadrons and tactical squadrons to use while you wait for them to recharge. So don't worry, buddy. It'll be fine. Don't cry. Of the interesting features, one can note the shape of the bomber sight. The bombs will drop into a small round area like the Graf Zeppelin. Bro, didn't we already have this shit and it sucked dick? Like the bombs suck dick to play against because they're round, you can't angle against them. You can't angle your ship against them, which made them awful to play against always. Like you can drop from a side in the middle of the ship and it didn't matter. Let's move on to the tactical squadrons. The first is mine layers. They have the same characteristics as the Taiho, and accordingly have access to the aircraft smoke generator with a large number of charges. The second tactical squadron is torpedo bombers. They attack with the entire flight, consisting of 4 aircraft, and they also have access to aircraft smoke generator. Wait, what? So you have mine layers that can lay smoke, and you also have torpedo bombers that can lay smoke. The advantage of torpedo bombers include the traditional high speed and damage of torpedoes for the Japanese, and the disadvantage is long preparation, long range of torpedo arming, and the lack of repair equipment. Bro, the class can spot. It's got 2 different smoke layers. It's got, and now it has like 2 different smoke layers. It can spot and it can lay mines. How much utility do you want to give this fucking class? That's what I don't understand. Like, you can smoke up your team, you can spot for the team, you can strike any target you want, and you can deny pushes with the minefield. You can completely deny any pushes. And they removed the ability to destroy mines because apparently it wasn't fair for the carrier that there was counterplay to destroy the mines. You could use ASW to destroy the mines. They removed that, so now mines are just there permanently and there's nothing you can do about it. Like, just go fuck yourself. Like, at what point do you start considering that, hey, just maybe, this one class has enough crutches going for it? The tactical consumable bomber has no heal. I know, it's really bad, isn't it? How will they survive? The consumable torpedo bomber squadron that can lay smokes doesn't come with a repair equipment. Wah wah wah. Carriers getting shafted again. 71.7k health, 42% torpedo belt. Sure, bro. The automated SW, of course. 8 flak. You won't find that. 100% accuracy, by the way. Of course, it's 100% accuracy. 8 flak. Of course, it's 8 flak. Why not? Yeah, so you get the standard fighter DCP, and then you have your attack aircraft with missiles. Oh, they don't even call them rockets anymore. I wonder if this is a translation error or just Wargaming stopped pretending like they're not missiles. Torpedo bombers, mine layers. yeah, okay. I remember when it's like the old Hakuri with like 10 different squadrons, except every single squadron here is broken. It's pretty cool. Nice. Okay, retarded as always. Then we have a Surkov. Oh, they get underwater search after all. Sure. Why not? 4 charges. Submarine detection 8.5. Isn't that pretty fucking strong? 8.5? What's the default? Equipment reload operating time 40 seconds. Reloading time 80. Wait, isn't this thing gonna hunt down every fucking sub? I think we saw that. No, we saw this. I don't think we looked at the fucking thing, but this I remember seeing. Wait, where have I seen this? I've seen this before, though. Holy shit, Imperator Danny, 96 months. Wait, 96, 8 years? Good lord. That's a distinguished potato. My god. Where did I see? I remember seeing this. This seems fucking identical. Yeah, the minted us out. No, we saw this. We saw this. I think we saw this one. Well, I think we didn't watch. I think we didn't look at the Shinano test change, though. Probably we just skipped it because fucking carriers. Honestly, I feel bad for having read it. I regret having fucking read it. That's what it comes down to. Now I read it and now I regret it. Unfortunate. Mistakes were made. Should not have read it, boys. Yeah, let's see what else event we have. Now look at Wargame Devlog. We already looked at that. Hello, Marticus. Okay, so let's see the actual new devlog that came out. Russian devlog came out 27th yesterday. It came out yesterday. I guess it came out yesterday evening. Yeah, that's why we didn't cover it. Closed testing 13.1, the Age of Armadillos. Lesta, so not Wargaming. We share details of the upcoming event with new ships and mechanics. Many of our players and we ourselves have long wanted to get a chance to touch the naval history of the early 20th century and experience the special features of the naval battles of those times. Earlier this year, we have already shared our plans to introduce something completely new to the world of ships, a more deeply and detailed gameplay of battleships of the early 20th century. Players will be able to take the helm of famous historical ships of that era and personally lead them into battle. Throughout version 13.1, there will also be an event where you can play on Russian, located in the Soviet nation. No way. And Japanese ships from the early 20th century. Special tier 2 ships have been added to the game. Yeah, you can play Battle of Tsushima, but if you win it if you win it as a Japanese, you get banned from the server. So watch out, bros. Okay, Russian battleship Borodino. Yo, wait, this is like pre-dreadnought kind of shit. Holy shit, it actually looks pretty cool, not gonna lie. This is like pre-dreadnoughts. Holy fuck. That's actually really cool seeing the old pre-dreadnoughts. With their dumbass 50 different types of guns and very few big main guns. Impressive detail on it. Yeah, it actually looks really good. Russian armored cruiser Gromoboy. Dude, I hate that this looks so cool. Like, I swear pre-dreadnoughts look so goddamn steampunk. They look so... I mean, obviously inspiration from there, but... Like, they look sci-fi, but that's how... What they thought battleships were gonna be like. God, it looks really cool. Feels like Lesta has different rendering. I think it's more the fact that they redid a bunch of like skyboxes and lighting things, so shit looks better because of it. Russian destroyer. Oh, early destroyers. Dude, look at what the fuck is that? The shit, these things look really cool. I hate that they look so cool. Holy, those torpedo tubes, bro, that looks so steampunk. Bro, ain't no way. Wait, like, was this thing real? Boy Q destroyer. Soviet destroyer Boy Q. Boy Q torpedo boats, Navypedia. Yeah, that's... I think that's this... Yeah, that's this thing, huh? They're fucking old as hell, but... It's not this thing. I think it is this thing, yeah. Yeah, four smokestacks. Fucking hell. Yeah, it's this thing. Yeah, you can see the nose and everything. It's totally this thing. So, actual fucking ships. I mean, it's not Russia, Soviet, no, it's Russian. It's literally before Soviet existed. Mikasa. Oh, is this like a remodel? Have they re-rendered Mikasa? With more detail and stuff? Because the OG Mikasa didn't look that good. I visited the Mikasa. I stood next to a Yamato shell outside of Mikasa. And the Yamato shell was fucking huge, man. It was in Yokosuka Naval Base where I visited the Mikasa. Very cool. Why does it jump up to the top whenever I minimize? Kind of annoying. Japanese armored cruiser Asama. What do you call it again when you don't kit bash? Imagine. I think they've actually created these from scrap, like most of them. Because I don't think there's a whole lot of models they can copy pasta to use for this. That's pretty cool. Like actual ships of the time. I like this a lot. So many guns? Yeah, they slapped a shit ton of guns. You should see the French pre-dreadnoughts. They were absolutely hilarious. They look like, honestly, they look like someone... I don't know. They were just demented. You should see French pre-dreadnoughts. Some of the ugliest ships you've ever seen. They're fucking hilarious. I wish those were in the game. French pre-dreadnoughts. Can I show you some pictures of some of the really fucking ugly ones? Oh, here's one. Here's one. This one, the original Carnot. This was the original Carnot. They were so fucking ugly, man. I fucking love them. I fucking love them. They were so goddamn ugly, man. They were incredible. You should see Charles Martel as well. I can show you Charles Martel. There's original Charles Martel. That's original Charles Martel. Before those goddamn Brits created the Dreadnought. And everyone realized their own ship designs were fucking retarded. And they had to remake their entire navy into Dreadnought styles. That's why every ship that looks like this is called a pre-Dreadnought, because once the Dreadnought came out, every navy in the world was basically irrelevant. But I mean, you have to understand where they came from. They came from the Age of Sail, where you had first rates with a big hull and tons of cannons on the sides, and they just all they did was really change the hull to steel and change the propulsion method from sails to steam and so forth. So the logical step forward was that. And then someone discovered, hey, you know what? What if we just put a fucking gigantic turret with big guns here instead and give it some decent speed, and then we can just outrange the enemy, perma-kite them, and just farm them from range, and they can never really engage us properly. And then everyone else was like, oh, we need to redo our navy. Imagine World War II if Britain came up with dreadnoughts. Yeah, it would have been hilarious, wouldn't it? Since these are event ships, their tier is chosen conditionally. Compared to regular Tier 2 ships, all newcomers have significantly increased reserve combat capability as well as a Fletcher shell trajectory and high accuracy. In addition, they are armed only with semi-armor piercing shells. All ships are equipped with torps. Oh yeah, you did have torps on all of them. Because fucking, honestly, they loved putting every armament though you could. I think it was some of the French ships, for example, the French pre-dreadnoughts, they had like 7 or 8 different caliber cannons. So it was a complete pain to store ammunition because every single type of caliber needed a different type of shell. But they just slapped everything they could on the ship. Yeah, they had underwater torpedo tubes on the ships back then. As for the features of individual ships, it's worth noting Asama, Gromoboy, and Boy-Cube. The first uses a series of salvos, full cycle drum when firing, and the second uses series salvos like a drum with additional loading system. The latter has a battle boost, with an increased bonus to speed as well as significantly increased damage when ramming. What the fuck is this gameplay gonna be? Lesta, huh? Borodina. God, it looks so fucking good. Like the detail. It looks so fucking good. Borodina was laid down at the new Admiralty shipyards in May 1900, launched in September 1901, and commissioned in September 1904. Under the command of Captain First Rank P. Serebrennikov, the battleship made the transition from Kronstadt to the Sea of Japan. During the Battle of Tsushima, the ship was heavily damaged and sank. Oh, what was it? Voyage of the Damned? What was it called? Did you guys see, by the way, that the Russians shot at Norwegian fishing ships again? Did you guys see that? They shot at it again. Yeah, here. Russian warship fired warning shot near boat in Arctic, near in Arctic. Yeah, apparently they were shot at again. So we're gonna have the greatest hits of the Russian Navy repeating. God, this thing looks fucking great though. I can appreciate the sheer level of detail on it. Warning shot they actually wanted to hit, probably. Didn't they shoot a shit ton at some fishing ships during the Voyage of the Damned? When they sailed across the entire world to go to Battle of Tsushima, I think they shot a shit ton of fishing boats, but their accuracy was so shit that they missed. And then they claimed it was like warning shots because they just whiffed everything. Gromoboy, okay. Laid down in Baltic shipyard in 1898, launched a year later, ended service 1899. Oh, it was the Pacific Ocean Squadron, that's the one, yeah. During the Russo-Japanese War, it was part of the Vladivostok Cruiser Detachment. It took part in Korean Strait. Okay. After repairs completed minus... It took part in World War I and was in Kronstadt from the end of 1917. Thank you, Pepeka-chan. 350-ton destroyers of the Buini type was ordered from British firm Yarrow, 1897. They were based on the Ikazushi class destroyers built for Japan. I like that these are all historical. These were always interesting, this thing. Do you guys know what these sticks on the sides are? They were actually for the deployment of torpedo nets. Like not cope cages, but torpedo cope cages. They would extend these out, and they would put a net around the entire ship, basically, or here, with the idea that if a torpedo was launched, the net would deter it, arm it, whatever, before it could actually reach the hull. They weren't for rowing, no. The net is modeled. Yeah, you can kind of see the net here. It's very cool. Wait, there might even be a picture of that. Let's see. Mikasa torpedo net. Is there? There's a model version of it. Actually, from the World Warship subreddit. Oh, sorry, World's Legend subreddit. But yeah, it looked like that. They would stick them out, and they would hang a net like this. Pretty cool. In practice, all they tended to do was break loose and foul the propellers. Yeah, it was one of those concept ideas. But I mean, there were no real torpedo belts back then. Like, the concept didn't really exist. So that was the torpedo belt. Azama, 1896. Sama served as training ship for naval gunners at Shimonoseki. And finally, Sazanami. Ikazushi class destroyers. As he captured the seriously wounded Admiral Rosesvensky, who was on the destroyer Bedovi in the Battle of Tsushima. Poor Rosesvensky. Probably the only competent part of the entire fucking Pacific Ocean Squadron. Poor dude, man. The legend himself. He had to suffer the incompetence of the fucking Russian Navy. Holy shit. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't seen the Voyage of the Damned series, it's called Voyage of the Damned. The Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron, I think it might have made an updated version, but the OG one is still a classic. This one. The Voyage of the Damned, the Russian Pacific Squadron. The Russian 2nd Pacific Squadron, which tells the story of this squadron making it all the way from Russia around the world to the Battle of Tsushima, where they eventually got their ass beat. The story is incredible. Like it's a fucking comedy. I wish they made a movie on it. It's a fucking comedy. We watched it before, but it's absolutely brilliant. It's absolutely brilliant. Your World of Warships teammates in real life. Yeah, I mean the sheer amount of dumb things the Russians did is baffling. Like, they would have pits on board. They would store coal everywhere and turn their ships into fuel air bombs, basically, and like, it was completely ridiculous. Everything. People would get drunk, they would have to get diseases, they like everything you could imagine. They would get lost. They almost started a war with the French, the British, the Norwegian, I can't remember who else, because they kept confusing normal fishing ships with Japanese torpedo boats, despite the fact that they were still in Europe, and they would open fire on them. But their gunnery was so poor that they would whiff all the time. And yeah, the Swedish too. There was a mutiny. I mean, it's an incredible story. You should absolutely watch it if you haven't. Like, if you have had any respect for the Russian Navy before they became the Soviet Union, and well, even after that, you should watch it. And any respect you might have had will just. A guy brought a crocodile on board and got opium-infused cigarettes. Yeah, no, and that Admiral Rosesvensky would get so pissed off he kept throwing his binoculars overboard. So they had a whole crate of binoculars in store for him on the ship, because he would regularly get so pissed off at the other ships that he would just fucking throw the binoculars overboard and scream at them. So, it's fucking insane, man. It's great though. The only ship that they hit was their own ship. They did. Okay. Interesting. Oh, Battle of Special Commanders Piotr Yosef Serebrennikov and Hikorijiro Ijishi. Okay. I don't know who Serebrennikov was. I'm surprised Rosesvensky isn't the one you're commanding, because he was the only competent one. Okay. In the event you will encounter new mechanics for the world of ships. An armor destruction system, multi-caliber, and return to battle. Wait, what are they testing? Armor destruction, multi-caliber, and return to battle. Okay, one of the key things that we've never been able to do in World of Warships is basically the coding doesn't allow you to control multiple caliber weapons. You can only have one type of gun on a ship, and you can only control that one type of gun. That's, for example, why they never made manual secondaries and things like that, because the coding didn't allow for it. So it was, you can only have one type of armament, and that was your main guns. But multi-caliber means potentially you will be able to shoot, let's say, 406mm guns and maybe 150mm guns at the same time, controlling them yourself, which is very interesting. And that armor destruction system means degradation of armor. Maybe if you hit the same side, you will degrade the armor on that side. Maybe torpedoes can degrade armor on the side. I don't know what they're doing. And when return to battle, that's kind of like in War Thunder, when you get sunk, you can jump back into battle, potentially in a different ship, in the same battle, or potentially in the same ship or in a different ship. You can return to the combat, or you can go to the spawn point and sail back into combat. This is all very interesting. Like, this is actually more interesting than almost all of this, because this is 3 new mechanics that they never tried before. And this is something I don't think Wargaming will ever do, because they've admitted they don't understand the code, but it's Lesta's own code, and they know it. This is really interesting. This is really interesting. This is cooking, man. This is really cooking. Kill some shitter and he spawns in a sub to grief you. We'll see, but this, I find this this is like very interesting. Armor destruction. Oh, they go into detail on them. Okay, I should have read on. Armor destruction system. Armor destruction system. In the era of ironclads, armor protection played a vital role, and to represent it more realistically, we have changed the existing armor mechanics in the game for this type of battle. First of all, we removed the multi-layered armor. This will make it easier for shields and armor to interact, as well as understanding the mechanics of the Age of Ironclads. The armor belts of battleships and armored cruisers will be divided into conditional armor zones. Shell hits in these zones will gradually destroy the ship's armor in these places. While the zone's armor is in satisfactory condition, shell and torpedo hits will not damage the ship's combat capability. The special color indicator will help track the condition of enemy armor in battle. Slightly damaged armor is highlighted in orange, and seriously damaged armor is highlighted in red. In addition, we have supplemented the sight with a special indicator that will show its condition when aimed at the armor of a specific sector. Please note that the armor condition will be shown at the point where the sight is aimed, and do not forget about lead when shooting. Okay, so only when you aim do you see it, and then you have to lead and try to hit that spot. Interesting. Yeah, look at this. You can see the different plates. You can see the different plates that you have around your ship. Holy shit, this is like really cool. Considering this is, I mean, this is just a fun mode, but both Lesta and Wargaming always test new mechanics in fun modes. That's what they do. That's pretty fucking cool. This, for a fun, small game mode, this is going to be really interesting to try. Interesting. So you can try to angle like pieces of your armor that's undestroyed against the enemy. So despite they only have sap in this, but you can still angle against sap, so you can both bounce this, and then you can also try to angle the healthy armor parts against the enemy. In the central part of the ship, as in the main game, there is a citadel hidden behind the armor. When the armor of a certain area is seriously damaged, shells and torpedoes hitting these places begin to cause damage. If there is citadel behind a section of armor, hits are guaranteed to damage it. Hits to superstructure cause damage according to the usual rules. Okay, when the armor is damaged or destroyed, you will respond corresponding ribbon. So that's a destroyed armor ribbon. Yeah, so this is like you're breaking the armor. And then you start getting sits after you've broken the armor on that area. So there's both a visual and then there's the highlighted red. I assume that highlighted red stuff is something that they might remove later, but it's just for this fun game mode. And you'll just be left with like the visual indication that the armor is damaged. They're guaranteed testing new things for the future. They're guaranteed testing new things for the future here. Wait, look at all these guns, by the way. Oh, you're controlling the small secondaries here. You see this? He's not controlling the big main turrets. He's controlling the small secondaries, I think. How does this work? That's the multi-caliber thing they're doing as well. These are the secondaries he's shooting with. Okay, this is really interesting. This is actually really interesting. When armor is damaged or destroyed, you will receive corresponding ribbons. Okay, so this is targeted it and it breaks. This is like damaging it and this is fully breaking it. You can track the status of your ship's armor using the compass in the lower left corner. Yeah, this shows in what state it is. Yeah, see, now he's controlling the big guns, I think. I wonder how that works. And now you have a separate health bar and a separate armor bar. Okay. This is pretty cool. I actually think this is pretty cool. Damage armor and lost combat capability can be partially restored by using the special restorative repair equipment available to battleships and armored cruisers. Multi-caliber. Numerous batteries of guns of different calibers were one of the most important features of battleships, and we could not ignore this in our event. The numerous medium and small caliber guns on the Russian ships will fire automatically and have exceptional accuracy, making them incredibly dangerous opponents in close combat. Agree many at least once wanted to manually fire the secondary battery, especially while the main battery is reloading. Japanese ships in the age of ironclads will make your wish come true. When playing on Mikasa 04 and Asama, you will be able to manually fire the medium battery. You can switch to it in battle by pressing the 2 key. The medium battery, like the main battery, is armed only with sap shells. Oh shit, so they just made it like a separate... They kind of coded it like this, so you can switch between main and secondaries. I really like this. I really like this. This is pretty fucking cool. This is pretty fucking cool. At the same time, Japanese ships will also have an automatically firing secondary battery because at that time the armament consisted of guns of various calibers. However, in terms of power, it will be significantly inferior to the secondary battery of the Russian ships. So you will basically... Wait. In terms of power, it was significantly inferior to the secondary battery of the Russian ships. Wait, why is the Japanese... Why is the Japanese secondary significantly inferior? Okay. So you can manual fire on IGN, but not the Russians. And the Russians one have exceptional accuracy. And they are much more powerful. You gotta remember, this is Lesta. Can't have Japan win the Russo-Japanese war after all, comrade. True, 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 true. Return to battle. Battleship battles with their large batteries of guns of different calibers are extremely dangerous for destroyers with their very low reserve of combat capability. In addition, the range of torpedoes is very limited, and the visibility system is configured in such a way that even destroyers in open water is always visible to opponents. To ensure this does not limit the gameplay of destroyers, we will add a mechanic for them to return to battle. Destroyers can return to battle after being destroyed as long as their crew still has battleships or armored cruisers in service. Respawn occurs after 10 seconds. Holy YOLO gameplay! Holy YOLO gameplay. So this guy gets his ass beat, and in 10 seconds he can rejoin the battle. I guess you go back to spawn? Yeah, you're back in spawn. Okay, that's still pretty cool. I still like that. Like, I still like the concept of that. War Thunder moment. And the ship returns to battle with full combat capability and without any damage, as well as with equipment ready for use. The spawn point is selected automatically, subject to two conditions. Close to allies, but at a certain distance from enemies. Okay. Other features. In addition to the mechanics described above, the Age of Battleships stands out with a number of other unique features for all the ships. To ensure the best possible immersion into the battles of the early 20th century, your squadron will begin the battle at full speed even during the countdown to the start of the battle. You will converge with the enemy, as it was in reality. No kiting out, loser! They force you to charge in the loading screen. Holy shit, really? Oh yeah, 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 they're charging in. I actually like this, the running start, and you basically just take control of the ship. I kind of like. I think this is really cool. I think this is really cool. This is the new map, by the way, the new visuals they put on this map with the burning forest and stuff. I think that's new, at least for Lesta. And this is the new cloud technology. They're just flexing at this point. They're just fucking flexing at this point. That's what they're doing. Yeah, this is very cool. This is all very cool. Another feature of the gameplay of the event is the ability to cause flooding by hitting shells below the waterline. No way are they bringing that back. If there is no armor left at the point of impact or it is seriously damaged. The mechanics of flooding correspond to random battles, but the time to eliminate flooding in the Age of Ironclads has been changed. 10 seconds for destroyer, 15 for cruisers, and 30 for battleships. For each allied battleship or cruiser lost, all remaining players on the team will receive special boosts depending on the class of the ship. Okay, so you get... This is like operations, where if you lose a teammate, you get buffs. Holy shit. Closed alpha is back, boys. Yo, they're really cooking. How... This is so much effort into this game mode. They're cooking really hard. Especially for the Age of Ironclads, we have prepared analogs of the usual achievements from random and ranked battles. We will also expand the ship levels required to complete most combat missions to tier 2. Thus, in the Age of Ironclads, it will be possible to complete combat missions, including missions to obtain rare signals. Since all the achievements of the event are memorable, it will not be possible to obtain elite signals. Okay, so they made even unique achievements for this game mode, I guess. Specific for Ironclads. Holy shit. Leviathan instead of Kraken. Admiral General, damage 4 or more enemies. So this is high caliber. Adjutant, Confederate. Armadillo, Dreadnought. Punisher. Oh, Devastating Strike. Double Strike. First Blood. Oh, secondary kill. What is close quarters combat? This is surviving the flood. What is it called? Not liquidator. Something else. The ramming skill. Die hard. No, that's this one. This is what is it called? The unsinkable. This is the fuck. Wait, destroy an enemy ship after destroying your own ship. I assume no. Get a kill after being killed. What is it called? Flesh wound. 2 special commemorative achievements. Cross of the Order of St. George and Badge of the Order of the Rising Sun. Okay. The event economy is set up in such a way that earnings per unit of time will be comparable to earnings to upgraded tier 8 ships. In addition, it will be possible to use economic bonuses. They went really ham on this. Battle format and map. The battles will be held in the 8 vs 8 format on special small maps based on the World of Ships location. Sakhalin 1904, Sea Border based on the neighbors map, Kamchatka 1904, Distant Archipelago based on the island map, and South Strait based on the Strait map. In case of a long wait for a battle, teams can have 6 players. Squads of up to 3 people are allowed. A team can have no more than 2 destroyers. This is Kamchatka 1904. Yo, they made small maps for this. Imagine understanding to make small maps for a brawling event. Wargaming, I'm looking at you with your fucking tier 10, 12 vs 12 maps for a 4 vs 4 brawl. Look at it. This is how you do it. Why don't you do this? Cool. This is very cool. To help battles for faster, the Ironclad Age will be available for limited times throughout the day. Updated Port of Vladivostok. To celebrate the event, we will update Vladivostok. It will be stylized as the beginning of the 20th century to provide immersion into the era. The season will change to golden autumn, and the ships and buildings will be replaced with one more appropriate to the era. Yo, this looks really nice. Shit. Ha! Bro, I wish Wargaming had this dev team. Like, sure, they're making a lot of demented decisions, but this is all very cool. This is all very fucking cool. This is really cool. I wish we had this on EU as well. I like a lot, like there's a lot of new mechanics, new visuals, new concepts. like they're willing to test a lot. They're clearly moving the game forward. I don't agree with all the ways they're moving the game forward. Like I didn't like their signal rework, where they changed all the signals and stuff. Like I don't like some of the things, but they're clearly constantly moving the game forward and trying new shit. God damn, interesting.